Should I be able to hear what's going on at the court right now? Because I can't hear anything. Okay. Yes. I can hear you.
Is your, yeah.
So we should turn them on, is that?
Please join me in the pledge.
Please join me as I pray. Father God, again, we're thankful for the blessings of this day, for this season of the year, for this beautiful weather that you've given us. Lord, we have so much to be thankful for, even though we're surrounded by this terrible disease. And Father, there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of uncertainty, and there's a lot of unknown in the world that lies ahead. But we know who controls that world. And we know that you've never asked your people to walk through the fire unless you've had your hand on the thermostat and your eye on the temperature gauge. Father God, we know you're in control of everything that's happening in this world and in this country and in this state and in this community. And we just pray your continued blessing over it. We pray that you be with these elected officials as they conduct the business of this county and make plans for the county, for the plans that lie ahead. And we just pray you give them the wisdom to make the right decisions that benefit us all. And we give you the praise and the glory in advance for what you're going to accomplish today. For it's in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Good morning, everyone. This is a little different type meeting, but we'll get through it and get on the road. Consent item. Oh, we have a presentation this morning. Is he there ready for the presentation? Mr. Bass?
Yes, sir.
We're ready for you to present. Do you have any videos or anything you want to show?
Yes, sir. It's Charles Bass and Mark Pinter. We're both in Data Bank. Mark, you want to put up our presentation?
Yes, sir. Just a minute. Good morning, all.
Morning.
This is an overview of Data Bank, and then we can discuss the project if you guys think we need to specifically.
There won't be any discussion. This is a presentation. We'll talk about it later when it comes up on an agenda if we need to.
Perfect. All right. I presume you can all see the screen, Solution Services Overview.
Yes.
Thank you. Charles? Charles, are you there? You're muted. Did we lose you, Charles?
Now, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know what I'm doing wrong over here. Anyway, first we're going to give you an overview and then any question and answers that you may have, okay? And Data Bank is basically a document management, document conversion, content management company. And primarily some of the opportunities that we have discussed with Michelle and the voters registration area is digitizing their records to be put into the VISTA system. We want to be your premier provider for business process automation solutions. We will help our customers achieve their visions and goals by simplifying their business processes. A lot of times this is simply taking paper and making it digital. And other times it's actually providing content management and data extraction from the images that we capture. We were founded in 1991. We're a full service document management company again. scanning, data entry, hosting, and content services. You can use this for any services that you like, or we can do soup to nut solutions. We have over 850 employees, 3,500 customers nationwide, and we can digitize up to 4 million images a day through our facilities. We're SOC Type 2 compliant. This is very key. So your documents are always with one of our employees in one of our vehicles in our facility. And SOC Type 2 is a compliance system where we get audited for all types of security, video cameras. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. We're also a Microsoft Gold certified partner, and we were acquired by Kyocera in 2016. We also have been deemed as a vital company to stay in operation. So our facilities are open and producing. We deal with medical records, petroleum records, and all types of state and county vital statistics records that are coming in daily and things like that. So we have to be open so that the government can keep moving, the hospitals can keep moving, et cetera, et cetera. So we are up and running and ready to go whenever our clients are. Again, as I was mentioning, we're HIPAA compliant on the healthcare side and SOC Type 2 for everything else. We are badge driven. You can't get into our facility. You have to be escorted. There's complete physical security, data security, secure customer file transfer, data protection and encryption, validation, and things like that. We sign confidentiality agreements with our employees and also with our clients. We do full background checks and full training for all of our employees. We really are state of the art as far as security. And of course, in normal times, you guys would be more than welcome to drive to Houston or however you'd like to get there and come check out our facility, and we will give you a tour. And maybe we can do that down the road if other opportunities arise in the county. Mark?
Thank you, Mr. Bass. Go ahead.
Okay. We have a carefully monitored chain of custody. That means from the time we pick up your records until the time they are digitized and delivered to you, you know where every one of your records are, and we can get them for you at any time. We deliver a detailed statement of work. I think Michelle has that already. We have a 4-step client review process. We do a proof of concept. That's where we digitize a small group, load it into your Vista system. Michelle and her team will look at it and make sure that we're doing exactly what we want. And then we crawl. We'll do another little sampling. If that's good, then we'll begin to walk and then run and then digitize everything like that. We do specific document preparation. We have very advanced scanning, new equipment in our facilities, detailed quality assurance. There's 10 QC steps that go along to make sure every piece of paper is captured and a nice, clean, crisp image is delivered to the client. And then the precise document output. We work with Vista, who is your content management company. We're a partner of theirs, and that's why they recommended us. Next. And the other scanning services we have, large format, that's your drawings, plats, engineering drawings, manufacturing, architect. We can scan books, bound books. We can take the spines off or scan them with them all on. We also do microfilm, microfiche, and aperture cards. Mark? This is a capture as a service. This is more of a futuristic aspect that you guys might want to consider, and we can definitely send this deck to Michelle, and she can distribute it to whoever would like it. This just allows for, as you go forward, to be able to scan things and have it loaded in the systems or send us paper on a daily basis, et cetera, accounts payable and things like that, where we do all the processing of the paper and the emails, and then just send them to you digitally for you to process through your AP system or whatever other system you want, HR, et cetera. Mark? We have very scalable solutions. We can do from 1 box to 10,000 boxes, whatever you need. In-house pickup and delivery back to you if you need, if need be. Like I said, I believe for this particular project, we will be picking them up, boxing them up, and taking them to our facility. And as I said, we are a crucial business, so we would be able to do it whenever you guys would like. All we would need is someone to point us at the cabinets. And Michelle and I had already kind of talked about that aspect of it. Next slide. We also have what we call scan on demand. That's where we can pick up your files, bring them into our facility, and we scan to a budget. That's normally for larger projects where companies have thousands of boxes, but we can even scale down to that. And we scan to a budget, and then anytime if you need a different box or file that we have not scanned yet, we will pull the file, scan it for you, and upload it into your content management system. This is very good for eliminating file rooms, et cetera, where the client doesn't have the full budget to do the job, i.e. someone's got 5,000 boxes in a file room and they need to clear the space. We can pull it in and basically become their virtual file room, if you will. Next. Industry leading accuracy. I talked about our 10 to 12 QC steps. It's basically where we QC image to paper, paper to image, and make sure that every individual piece of paper is scanned and delivered to you. We also utilize OCR technology if needed, and I believe for Vista we will be doing that for you, where you can search by keywords. I think Michelle, you are familiar with that technology. Next slide. And then these other services, and I know I'm taking up a little bit more time than I probably should, but we have web portals, third-party integration, scripting. This is basically data management that we can help you guys with. SharePoint, platform migrations, performance assessments, database administration, consulting. So pretty much if it has to do with digitization, software systems, paper to digital, digital to intelligent, and data extraction, we can help you with it. Next. Any questions? I hope I made some sense there, guys.
I appreciate the presentation, but it's just a presentation. We cannot ask questions at this time. As soon as it comes up on the agenda, that we'll readdress it if you'll stay with us. Thank you.
Oh, yep,
Ms.
I'll stay
Louise?
with you.
Ms. Russo, you want to speak?
You're giving me this opportunity. I had just a couple of items that I wanted to feature, I guess. When I was there about a month ago, I noted that several times during my campaign, people had said they wanted more information from the court before decisions were made. And I saw on the last agenda that information was provided. However, on this agenda, I was disappointed in that items number 14 and 16 really provide no information about what will be discussed, other than it's a grant or it's something that will be administered or engineering services, but nothing explaining what the use or the project is for which those grants or those contracts will be used. Also under item 22, to establish the task force. I think this is something, and maybe EDC is working with the county and the city and Fulton on this issue, but this certainly seems like something that the Economic Development Corporation would be very interested in working on. And also that there were 2 hospital systems in Corpus Christi that were interested in Code 3 ER before it unfortunately closed. And although the current facility is not in operation, the hospital systems may still have interest in that. And one of the hospital groups has purchased land here well over 10 years ago that I believe they still own and are still interested in possibly having as a hospital or some sort of ER or outpatient clinic. And I'm hoping that those 2 sources will certainly be invited to participate in this. And there will also be some long-term thought giving and not just a knee-jerk reaction, because we're in the middle of a healthcare crisis right now. And then finally on item 24, about creating another position, this time in the auditor's office. It seems that a few months ago, there were 2 positions that were approved for creation for the long-term recovery team. And those 2 positions, I believe, were going to cost the county about $240,000, almost $250,000 a year. And although their salaries and benefits ideally will come from grants that are approved, they'll still be getting paid while the grants are in process and then hopefully approved or perhaps rejected. And I'm just wondering why those 2 positions can't administer the grant and provide the additional assistance needed by the auditor's office, rather than bringing another position onto the county's workforce for salaries, for benefits, and all of the other costs that it would be for the taxpayer. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else? Mr. Commissioner Decal.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes. Go ahead.
Speak now on item 12?
Oh, you want to talk about item 12? I thought something else. All right. Never
No,
mind.
it's- Okay.
All right. Is Louise on? Okay. On the consent items, we have 4.
Make a motion to approve, Judge.
Motion
Second.
made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Commissioner Cheney. All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous.
Judge, I've reviewed the item 6, the county report from Mr. Puron. I'd be prepared to vote for it if you want to go ahead and approve it.
Okay.
I'd make a motion to approve the first quarterly report for the Rockport Center of the Arts.
Motion made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Commissioner Casterline. All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Approve, disapprove, allow the county library director to seek and apply for a $500 HEB grant to be used for summer reading programs.
Move to approve.
Motion made and second, Commissioner Smith. All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Approve, disapprove, allowing the librarian director to seek and apply for a $1,000 Walmart grant to be used for summer reading programs.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, Commissioner Smith. All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Okay, county roads, discuss, approve, disapprove order 014, 2020, and order to close and abandon and vacate 20-foot alleyway on block 319 Manning Addition, Aransas County.
This is a request by the citizens that own the property surrounding the alleyway. It's not in use, and I would move that we approve of that in the alleyway.
I'll second that.
Motion made and seconded by Commissioner Cheney. All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Approve, disapprove variance of floodplain regulation to allow us use of field for structural support for new construction on 121 Dockside Drive and Sunset Bay subdivision.
I make a motion to approve, but I have a question.
Motion made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. Question.
David, are you online?
I am.
Okay, David, what kind of field are we talking about here? This is just a technical question.
This would be typical fill to build a slab on grade house.
David, why does it need
Okay,
to be different?
go ahead. So what is the change on this?
So
Do they have
this
to have a different
house,
type of fill?
this house is located inside the limb wall line. And in our last floodplain order, we prohibited the use of fill inside that. The plans and the house construction permitting was already underway when we changed the rule. And so this is kind of grandfathering in this one. It's really pretty typical of the other houses that are out there.
Say, David, if you didn't grant this variance, what would be the impact? Would they have to build it up on stilts?
Yes, or pier and beam or something.
So but you don't have a problem with this variance?
No, we Kat actually talked to
Texas Water Development Board about this situation, and they agreed that this is probably a good variance to have.
And this is
And,
primarily due to the
and
fact
Chad-
that it was changed during the process, right?
Correct.
Okay. I would second.
All right, it's already been made. Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Approve, disapprove, authorize county judge to sign an amended medical services agreement with Lone Star Ambulance. I'd like to table this because we have a little problems with the figures. We don't come up with the same as whoever came up with that 196. Ours are different.
Move to table line.
Motion made
Second.
and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Approve, disapprove, authorize county judge to sign interlocal agreement between Aransas County and Aransas County Navigation District for Phase 1 Hazard Mitigation Grant Program. Project 4332069 Little Bay Grant. The grant is for circulation study, final engineering, United States Army Corps of Engineer permit. All right, we've talked about this off and on and sat down and discussed it and rewrote it. And last Thursday, we had a meeting and I thought it was written for the last time and everybody agreed on it. But that being said, Malcolm Decal, would you like to address this?
Yes, Judge. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, well, I urge to go ahead and approve the MOU so that I can bring it before the district at our next meeting. I think that we've all worked diligently to get this where it is, and I'm going to urge its acceptance. So I would urge the county to go ahead and prove it. We all know how important Little Bay is, and this is the first step for Little Bay's future. So that's really all I have to say. I hope everyone will approve it and we can get on with business.
Okay.
John, can you lay out what the changes are? I see number 4 on the areas.
John, you want to speak to this? Make sure that mic's on.
What we talked about last Wednesday. What we talked about last Wednesday was that we formed the committee, the district would be on the committee, the county would be on the committee, and the engineer would be on the committee. So we would formulate the plan going forward, and every month we would meet. And we also added that NAV district would, participate in adding and bringing to the table all of their background, their knowledge, their information that they have. So we move forward in a really important way. We insisted, and it's important because we're the grant holder, we have to abide by federal rules and regulations that the grant stays in the county name. And the county administers it, and the county's in control of it. And at the end of the day, we're the ones who are going to be audited, and we're the ones who are going to have to pay the price if we do it wrong.
So we've done everything that we're supposed to do, and Navigation District wants, let's say, make changes to their favor, but that's not something that we can do.
No.
And so if today we make a motion and it's passed, the ball's in Navigation District's court.
Exactly.
I
And
would
if
move
it,
to approve the item, and I do think we need to make sure we're covered under it, since because we have a lot of liability in that.
all right,
I'll second that.
motion's made and seconded. Commissioner Smith?
No, I was going to second it as well. I think that it's almost imperative that we protect not only the integrity of the project ourselves as well, but work with the NAV district on this. And I would hope that the NAV district would see that we don't set the rules, but we have to follow them. And so the money's there and the work is necessary work. I would hope that they would agree with this so that we could go forward with it. Thank you.
Okay, motion made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Is that right? Commissioner Glaubach?
Yes, I said aye.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Aye.
All right.
Can you- okay, good.
Now we hear you.
Discuss, approve, disapprove, authorizing county judge to sign the engineering services agreement between Aransas County and Sample Engineering Incorporated, DBA John Mercer Associates, for the Texas Community Block Grant Program administered by the Texas Community Department of Agriculture. This is some more of sewage and water, I believe.
Yeah, it's in the area of 8th Street, south of town. There's gonna be a lift station and quite a bit of sewer connections. Do we have anybody from Grant Works online?
Anybody on Grant Works want to jump in and talk or not? Okay, guess not.
So Commissioner, this is the same thing that we've been doing for the last 14, 15, 16 years, ever
Yeah,
since
yeah.
I've been involved.
Same
Ongoing
thing.
deal, but like I say, the difference in this will be the first one that grant that we've ever gotten that paid for a lift station, which allows us to serve an area that we haven't been able to serve in the past. I'd move to approve the
I'll second that.
contract.
Motion made and seconded, Commissioner Cheney. All those in favor?
Wait, before you vote,
Yeah.
can I ask a question? I need
Yes.
to- I want
Yes.
to clarify. I think this is the same thing we've been calling the Colonia grant. I know that we talked about one last meeting about a lift station. I just want to confirm so I can write it up properly. This is the same grant we talked about 2 weeks ago where we were calling it a Colonia grant?
Yes.
It is the same one, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Like I say,
I thought
it's
it
gonna
was.
be in 8th Street area south of town.
Yes, thanks.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Approve, disapprove, county judge authorize issuance of request for proposal and request of qualification as required for professional services such as environmental agreement, engineering, architectural feasibility studies, appraisals related to the community development block grant, disaster recovery grant funded by, and administered by the Texas Land Office for Hurricane Harvey. Jackie, do you want to address this or?
John may have more information than I do.
All right, John?
This is just, we're starting down the road now with the CDBG-DR grants. They're all but the hospital at this point has been approved and we're waiting on a contract. So this is just a formality to move this thing forward
And we'll,
This is something that we've been waiting on since
for a
last.
year and a half. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
John,
What's
can
it-
you lay out some of the grants that are included in this?
There's 37 million in drainage projects. That's 8 drainage projects. We have the downtown anchor, which is 3.1 million. That is for the public improvements. That would be the parking lot, the plaza, and the little community building. There is a purchase of the train depot property to turn that into a public parking lot. These are some of the projects that are on that project.
And the depot will stay there, but the additional property will be parking lot?
Yes, and what we're talking with is Jerry's already prepared a proposal that will, as a simultaneous closing, we will carve out the depot and a little bit of land. The depot will be given over to a nonprofit. And then the county will take the other property and turn it into a parking lot.
So the micro hospital is not included in this.
It is not at this point, but it would be as we go forward. This is just
Fair enough.
this process. We have to do with the federal grants, we have to do environmentals, we have to do all of these other types of studies and everything has to fall into the same pattern.
does the depot, will it be a county property that goes to?
The building
private
itself
use?
will be given to a nonprofit.
Okay, can we do that? Do we own that building now?
No.
Okay, so who's giving it to the nonprofit?
It'll either be worked out where the current owner will donate it, but it'll all happen at the same time.
Okay,
And then we'll take the property and build a parking lot for,
Okay, Commissioner Laubach?
go ahead.
I just wanted to ask, I wanted to get the total dollar amount. I thought I heard you say 37 million and also 3 million. Is the total 40 or is the 3 million part of the 37? I just want to get a number.
The total number is 53.9 million, but right now we have everything except for the $9 million that's going to the hospital.
Okay, so,
We haven't got that approved yet.
so this would be for 44 million, 45 million?
Yeah, I'm working off of numbers and I don't have them in my front of me, but right now they've approved everything short of the hospital.
Okay, I'm just trying to, so the total in future will be something like 54 million, and this is all but 9 million of that.
Yes.
that about right?
9.9.
But Mr. Strassman, we're still waiting,
37 million for drainage projects.
we're
Go
still
ahead.
waiting for the contracts. They'll be issued on a project by project basis.
Right.
Okay.
Correct. The drainage projects are 37 million. It's 8 projects across the county.
Thank you.
Okay.
Wherever, had a motion,
So moved.
second. Second, Commissioner Smith. All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Approve, disapprove, to issue request for proposal for administrative services and request for qualifications for engineering services related to the 2020 county transportation infrastructure.
Say, David, are you there?
I am.
Is this on the what we were talking about the other day, you and I, where we qualify for about $147,000?
Correct. We have been allocated 147,000. We were recently notified by Grant Works of this grant, so we're kind of on a time crunch. So we've put this in the agenda now. We're actually still trying to evaluate what projects we have that would fit with this grant. We're still looking into that.
David, if we go ahead and approve this, there's matching funds involved in this, right?
Yes, there is 20% matching funds, and the match can be done by in-kind services.
So that's your thought process on this?
Yeah, my thought is that Road and Bridge probably would do the work for the match.
Okay.
David, is this the one that we have the real short time frame on, just a month?
Yes, it is.
Okay, are we, how are we on our road plan as to requirements for that match? I know you have a road plan and
yeah, I think we probably will be able to use a project that we're going to do anyway. So, there shouldn't be any difference with us spending the money and having the match to do it. We just make a little money instead of spending more than we anticipated.
okay,
David,
thank you.
David, are you primarily thinking about road projects here or drainage or both?
This grant is specifically for road projects.
Okay, thanks.
Make a motion to approve, Judge.
Motion made and seconded, Commissioner Casterline. All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Thank you. Discuss, approve, disapprove, county judge sign a contract for professional services between the county and Aransas and LNV LLC for engineering services for the Texas Community Block Grant Program administered by the Texas Department of Agriculture. This is the block grant that we do almost every year with the city of Rockport.
It's another sewer grant. We actually have two, the Colonia grant and the block grant program. It is on, I believe it's on Cassuth Street between James and Corpus Christi Street, an extension of some previous projects that we've done. And I would vote to approve.
I'll second it.
And back to David, you got the question on the cost of the engineer lined out?
Yes, I believe he's already submitted a different fee proposal for this.
Okay, so the fee that's on this contract falls in line with the normal percentage that's paid in the grant?
I believe that was the case. I actually haven't seen it. I think it was sent to Jackie, but from my conversation with L&V, it will be.
And
I would move that we approve it.
I have the
Check
same
that.
question here. David, can you just tell us what kind of projects are these? I heard Mr. Cashline say that it was something like we had been previously doing on Corpus Christi, but I can't remember off the top of my head what that is.
Right,
Is
this
it
is a sewer project.
Okay.
Okay, motion made, but Mr. Castellan, do I have a second?
Second.
Second, twice. All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Discuss, approve, disapprove, authorize county judge to sign an e-sign substance abuse testing services with Quest Diagnostic for pre-hire and post-accident drug screening.
Is this something we do each year?
No, this is new because Code 3 was doing it. We need to look for other sources.
But this is a budgeted item, right?
Yes.
Okay. Make a motion to approve.
Motion made,
Second.
seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Okay, now we discuss, approve, disapprove, authorize county judge to sign a contract with Data Bank for conversion of voter registration files to digital format for the preservation of the county documents. Michelle, you want to address this?
Yes, hi, guys. The reason why I'm bringing this to you guys is a couple of years ago, we purchased Vista, and we have been working on in-house scanning images in. We currently have 36 drawers, and we've managed to do one drawer in the year and a half that we've had the system. And that's because every day after we do the daily work, that daily work is scanned in. So we're spending the days keeping up with our current daily work, but unable to get caught up or even make any type of progress. So I reached out to Vista, and last year they sent someone out and we were given a quote that was just not ever going to happen. So I reached out to them again after all this COVID-19 and the possibility of having an election here, and I have very little space for early voting. So they got the information I provided to them, and you should have a copy of the quote. The amount that they're quoting to us is work that can be done in 90 days. So I was trying to figure out, what would it take to do it in-house versus hiring Data Bank. So I spoke to the elections administrator in San Patricio. They also have the same system. It took them 4 years and 2 to 3 people working on this every day to get all of their stuff scanned in. For us to do it, it would take us probably 2.5 years. And the cost outweighs the benefit of going with Data Bank. Excuse me. If I were to just throw a ballpark figure out there, if I had 2 people working straight for 2 years, it would cost us about $124,000 versus going with Data Bank. It's right at a little over 25,000, and they can do it in 90 days versus 2 years.
Michelle, I got
Go ahead.
I was wanting to know, is this a necessary thing that we have to do on conversion?
It's not necessary, but after Hurricane Harvey, it would be ideal. It was just by the grace of God that I didn't lose my building during the hurricane, and everyone's voter records and stuff are here. So if we have everything into a digital format, we wouldn't have to worry about it ever again. It would just be on our computer and in a cloud.
Is this something that's in your budget for this year?
I currently don't have it on my budget.
As I discussed with her, she came to my office. This is something that I told her to put on the agenda that we could discuss. And if we had the money, might be a good idea, but it also could cover other departments in the county at a later date as fast as we can do it. Now, grant you, by the grace of God, she didn't lose her records, but we know what happened in commissioners or county clerk's office and district clerk's office. So we need to think about the whole county in a whole, or pretty fast.
Just by way of asking a question, what would happen if we did lose all of these files?
Well, the files that we have here, we use them for multiple reasons. We wouldn't have any proof that they registered. If there was a question about whether or not they were truthful on their application, which is an affidavit, we would no longer have that proof. There's just a million different things that could go wrong if we didn't have our voter files. And we maintain them on a daily basis. So let's say we lost the files and the country moved forward with allowing everyone to vote by mail. We would rely on the signatures in those files to confirm that the person who's voting by mail is the actual person who voted that ballot. And that is something that's being discussed. I'm sure you guys all know that that's something that they're wanting to move forward with, especially with this current pandemic. You know, we would be in a bad situation if we didn't have proof of everybody's signature.
So Michelle, if we lost it all, basically everybody would have to register to vote again?
I don't know. There's
Michelle,
nothing- Hold on just one second. There's nothing actually in the code that says we'd have to re-register everybody, because this is nothing that's ever happened before.
what is the length of records retention on voters' records?
Well, voter registration, as long as you're registered to vote, we have a file on you. The only time that the retention changes is if you cancel, whether it be that someone moved out of the county or was purged from the system or passed away. We keep those records for 2 years.
Okay, that's really not my question. My question is, in the files that you've been scanning in, how much of those can we, are we required by law to keep, and for how long? In other words, are we scanning documents from 10 years ago or 5 years ago that are not required to be kept?
We're required to keep all voter registration files on all active voters. So we do have people who have, lifers of Aransas County whose files have been here their whole life. And as long as they're an active registered voter of Aransas County, we're required to maintain these files.
From day one?
From day one.
Michelle, in the presentation that I got in front of me, they're saying that they understand the risk associated with the movement of the documents. What happens if we lose those documents in the movement?
Charles? Let's see if we can get Charles to answer that question for you.
We are liable for the documents. It's in our contract. I discussed that with Carrie, that we are liable for them for the time we pick them up until we deliver the images. I believe we're going to destroy these documents. You guys can hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
I believe you guys are going to destroy these documents once they're digitized. We'll hold them for 90 days plus or minus, or until you're comfortable before we destroy them. But if something happens to them while they're in our hands, which would probably be what the transportation part, I think, is probably what you're worried about, driving from Aransas or Rockport, where these files are, to Houston, we are liable for them. And Carrie had already read the contract and was confident with our legal terms at the end of the statement of work, which you're calling a contract, sir.
I guess my question though is what happens if they get destroyed in transit?
I don't know how to answer that any better than if they got destroyed in a hurricane. I mean, we haven't had that happen, praise the Lord. Generally that would be pretty catastrophic automobile accident to have that happen, sir. I think the odds are probably about the same as, or better actually, than a hurricane or a fire or a flood. And that's the reason people digitize. There's always the risk.
Let me ask it another. Yeah, let me ask it another way. Assume they get destroyed. Who's responsible for replacing them, and who's going to bear the cost?
I believe that's in the contract. I think there's I know we're insured. So if that happens, we do have an insurance policy that covers that type of incident. It just hasn't happened, so I can't tell you exactly what would happen, but I do know that we're insured and bonded.
Okay, so, one other quick question.
Sure.
Since we got people registering and no longer active, they moved from the county. Does this contract cover, Michelle? Does it cover changes during the year? Is this an ongoing situation?
This is a one-time job.
How much?
This is a one-time job that we're asking them to do our records that are in there. We do the daily work all day, every day. So we do that in-house. That's not something that we would pass on to them. That's something that's done here.
So you're keeping up with the new registrations and the changes in the registrations, right?
Yes.
That won't be digitized? Will that be digitized as well?
We digitize them here in the office. We have the same system already on our computers. So we've been
Okay,
working
all
on
right.
that.
This is just to put the ones that they haven't been able to load in themselves in the system.
So this is a one-time fee.
It's a one-time fee.
Are you going to annually send your records off?
No, this is a
I mean, do
This is
you,
a one-time thing. All the records that, like I was been trying to explain, is we do this every day. So we won't have to do this again. What DataBank is offering to us is to get this done in 90 days rather than several years.
so because, and then they will bring us back the digitized files, or they'll maintain them and keep them, so every year we would like send them copies of the previous year or something like that?
No, they do them as they get them in, Jack. Anything new, they maintain it themselves in the office. This is only to download all of the old records that they
Okay,
haven't.
but
had
I was
done.
talking about once they get doing that, is that rather than us getting 4 or 5 years behind again?
We won't,
No,
we won't get
because
behind
they're
again.
doing it daily.
Okay, I'm with you. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Any other discussions? Money.
Jackie? Somebody?
It'd have to come out of fund balance if there's anything.
Well, this, I can see the need for it and I can see the need for it in other departments. I just cannot see this year. We're going to have a real tough time with the budget, with everything that's happened so far and what the state's done to us. So there's a lot of unknowns out there, and we're just going to have to, in my mind, hope and pray we don't have any problems this year and try to address it as soon as possible. That's just my thoughts.
Can we just put it in, can we put it to be considered in next year's budget?
I suppose so. You want to make that?
I move that we move this expense to be considered in the 2021 budget.
Second,
Motion made. Do I have a second?
second,
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
You got that. Commissioner Laubach seconded. All right.
yes.
Item number 20.
We need
Gotta
to
vote
vote.
on it.
Oh, yeah, I guess we need to vote on it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. So that takes care of 18 and 19, actually. But I guess we need another motion on 19. Do I have a motion to
So moved.
consider that? All right, motion made.
Second.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. Item 20, it's not quite ready for discussion and vote, so I
Move to table.
motion to table.
Can I, Judge, real quickly, going back to 19, what we're doing on that one is saying, okay, since we're going to put off and consider, we're going to do the same thing with that particular
Right.
item. Okay,
Right.
fair enough.
All right, item 20 is a motion to table. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second, Commissioner Cheney. All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Item number 21, need to discuss the status of our health authority in Aransas County, and I would like to do that in closed session and come back. It's not going to be an action item, just something that I'd like to discuss with. Well.
Okay.
Right. So we'll go into closed session on that one. Item 22, discuss, approve, disapprove, establish task force charged with bringing back viable operations and or plans for establishing emergency health care services solution to meet the needs of the county. If established, the task force should report back to at the earliest possible date and identify sustainable solutions and options for addressing our emergency care needs the next 6 months. Short of the midterm, the next 6 months to 1 year. This is something, of course, after Code 3 closed on us, it's been in my back of my mind. It's been brought to the front of my mind that we need to do something for the citizens of Aransas County. as soon as possible. And the long-term recovery team and some professionals here in the county, we've been talking about it and established a task force to come up with some solutions as soon as possible, possibly that we can get something open for a short term until such time as we get things rolling on the micro hospital.
Judge, one quick question or comment on this. We have this pandemic, and at some point, in order to return to some degree of normality, we're going to have testing in our county. Would these people also be charged with looking at the possibility of testing and the cost of it?
Commissioner, I've looked into that, and believe me, I don't understand. I've talked to Judge Madrid in Clayburgh County, and he has testing there, and he's invited us to come on down. He'd be glad to accept anybody from our county. He asked the same authority that I talked to, and he got permission for a testing site, and we were told we didn't meet the criteria, more or less. So we're looking into that further. The testing site would only be for people that are have a order from a doctor saying they need to be tested, that have signs that they might have.
But it is something that you're looking into at this point.
Yes.
All right, fair enough.
Whether we get it or not, I don't know. I think Beeville or B County has it. Yeah, B County and Clayburgh County, so they might say we're too close to another county, which is what, an hour's drive for either one of them. But anyway, I am working on it. We're trying to come up with a solution, and got some good people
right.
using their time to look at it.
Judge, I've got a question concerning that. They tell us, don't go to your doctor if you think you've got the virus, go get it tested. So if that's the case.
I think we're getting off the agenda item.
Well, I don't think so, because it deals with emergency health care.
Okay, go ahead.
But anyway, so if, as the situation is now, since Code 3 has left us, where would we go to do that? I mean, I think that really adds volition to what you're saying, is the fact that we're totally unprotected in certain areas now, because I don't know whether we go to San Pat or go to Clayburgh or what, if we think we may have it, and they
Well, you
urge
have to
us
call
not
your
to go to the
doctor. You have to call your doctor. You don't go see your doctor, you call him.
Just call them.
And he'll tell you what everybody else can tell you, stay at home unless you get real sick.
Judge, as it relates to item number 22 there, I don't have any problem with all of going out, putting together a task force to explore the options that are available to us. I think the more information we have, the better off we are.
Well, I agree with that.
I'd make a motion to approve number 22.
I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded, Commissioner Cheney. All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Item 23, March Indigent Healthcare. Ms. Cartwright. Any questions on indigent healthcare?
I haven't seen the report.
Total expenditures for the month is $336,647. We're at 3.1% of our gross revenue.
How much was it for the month?
336,000 for the.
That's for
year to
this,
date.
that's year-to-date number. How much was it for the current month?
It's 56,232.
So it has picked up.
It has, actually, we've had, since this past month of things going on, we've only had one new application, so it's not like a mad rush of
Okay.
new applicants coming in.
I'd make a motion to approve, Judge.
Motion made, seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Approve, disapprove interim auditor Jackie Cochran's request for a creation of additional assistant auditor's position to the Aransas County Auditor's Department. Salary and benefits will be funded by grant administrative fees from FEMA reimbursement. The new position is necessary in order to assist with the influx of workload to the
County.
County, yeah, okay. County Auditor's Department, ongoing accounts payable, FEMA COVID-19 applications process. The job description is attached. Ms. Dr. Ham.
Yes, Commissioners, I do respect Ms. Russo's comments on this, but the long-term recovery has a totally different agenda or responsibility for all of the grants and stuff. Our office is responsible for all of the procurement, all of the bid openings, all of the invoicing, all of the auditing, all of the reporting and stuff. And it has really gotten to be a large job in our office. It's really taken away one person totally from our regular duties. So we would really like to be able to bring someone else in to help.
How much of that would be covered by the DAC?
All of it should,
All of it?
all of it, yes, sir.
And the total cost of that, if it was covered, is not anywhere near $250,000, is it?
And, she's
No, we're
talking
looking
about
about $50,000
About
with
$50,000,
salary and benefits.
Good.
any further discussion. Do I have a motion?
Make
So
a
moved.
motion to approve. Judge.
Motion made, second.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Castleline. All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Approve, disapprove, combining JP1 and JP2's part-time positions into a full-time position that works on both departments at a group step of 11.3, no new monies.
So they're going to combine 2 part-times into 1 full-time?
Yeah, and no new monies.
Well, I got a quick question.
Yeah.
These part-time positions, were they given county benefits?
No. Judge
No.
McGinn is here.
Oh, there you are. You want to talk about it, Judge?
Yes, we've had this previously done in years past, and we lost that position when Valerie became county clerk. And we never reapplied again to get this position again, but now we're needing the positions for both of our courts again.
Is
When you-
this
when you
mainly
say-
for collections or what?
That's correct. This is going to be for collection for both offices.
When you say no new monies, you're talking about the portions that are in our budget now for part-time will cover the cost of a full-time?
Correct. You have already previously approved having 2 part-time positions, one for JP1 and for JP2. The no new monies means that they will take care of all the benefits, the healthcare and the retirements and everything to that effect.
So it would be a wash. Have you checked that out, Jackie?
Yes, sir.
All right.
We have to-
And
Fair enough.
they do currently have 2 part-time employees?
They have 2
No, they-
positions.
2 positions,
They
one
have
person
one
doing both.
person that's been working, but they do have 2 positions that are budgeted.
But they have a
One person
warm
doing-
body that's doing the 2 halftime jobs right now.
They
No.
have,
It's not
I,
just a
I think
budget.
currently, am I correct? She's just working for you right now?
That is correct. She's
Judge.
working for me right now as a part-time, and JP1 would like to utilize her also. So that's why we're combining this and doing it as we previously done before in the past.
Does that person only do collection?
She's doing a little bit of everything right now. She's still fairly new. I guess I hired her about maybe a month ago. And she is bringing the office back up to par, trying to learn all this new Zoom and trying to get everything online so that we could start doing the courts online.
So Judge
I've
McGinnis,
got a, go ahead,
I'm just
go
trying to
ahead,
understand,
Commissioner Lovat.
is it just, are you saying that we have budgeted for 2 part-time positions, only one of them is now filled, so there's a budget line item that we're not currently using that you want to apply to make this part-time position a full-time position? That's why it's no new money?
That is correct. We have a position already in JP1 that's approved. It's never been filled. And then I have mine that was already, I filled that probably about, I guess, 4 weeks ago. And I actually still have one more position, part-time position that needs to be filled for a totally different, for bond related for people who were in jail that I have not filled that part-time position yet.
Okay, thanks.
I have one question that's probably, well, I'm just gonna ask it anyway. Why can't Misty help you in collections, in JP wanting to?
We've
That's
tried
her
this.
main job.
We've tried this before when I created that position where Misty was. It did not work out. There's too much that's involved. That's why we went back to our old way of doing things.
Okay, thank you. So any further discussion? I have a motion.
I'd make a motion to approve, Judge.
Motion made. Second, Commissioner Castelline. All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Approve, disapprove budget line item transfers and amendments. We know.
We
that
have
one.
none.
Motion.
Move to approve that.
Motion made, seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Approve, disapprove accounts, payroll, and payroll liabilities.
They're all normal.
All normal.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. It's a time we talk about elected officials or department heads have anything to be brought up. Sheriff?
A letter Saturday, I'm bringing the court's attention that the Department of Criminal Justice and State of Texas represent the prison systems that shut down the intake to their entire system effective today. They have over 300 confirmed cases within the system, employees and prisoners. So their only option to control the spread was to shut down the intake until further notice.
Sheriff, do we have any in our jail?
Oh, I'm sure we do.
But none of them have been tested, I mean, verified?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I thought you were about people that were on chain. We don't have any confirmed cases in the jail. No, sir. We've had nobody tested. Well, I've had 2 employees that we have had to send back home because they presented with a fever, but no other symptoms that would warrant the testing. We've been pursuing that whole procedure as well, but trying to find a way to get them back in the game sooner than 14 days. And that's kind of the frustrating part is whether you confirm positive or whether you're self-quarantined, you get 14 days. So
What is your jail population now?
I'm gonna say 180.
180? So we've got spaces available.
Yes, sir. That we have completed some engineering changes within the facility, creating more negative pressure cells on a temporary basis so that we would have the ability to deal with any positive tests if we did have one. We could quarantine them within the system, not have the air cycle back into the facility.
Okay. Anyone else? Well, if not, we'll go into closed session. It shouldn't be but a few minutes, and we'll be right back. Yeah, I don't have a form either. action item, so I doubt if anybody, they still.
What do you call that, the person that would be, that's,
Director of Health. He's a director or something. Right? All right, I'm sorry. Yeah, stuck around, but I'm not sorry. Anyway, it's not an action item, so I don't have a motion for anything except maybe to adjourn. Motion made. Second. All those in favor? Unanimous. Thank you very much for coming. Have a good day. God bless everybody.